We have reached the 8th and final game of the 2023 USPHL Florida Cup, and we wrap it all up with the premier level championship game between the Florida Eels and the Tampa Bay Juniors. Good evening, everyone, and welcome into the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play. Lucas Nicholson downstairs will be joining us momentarily. Florida Eels coming into today at 8-2, Tampa Bay 7-2. They're the top two teams in the Florida division. It's only fitting they've made it to the championship game. Now it's time to introduce you to the starters of each side. First for the visiting juniors on defense, Benjamin Lenonsori alongside Augie Ashley. The three forwards, Gustav Peterson, Tyler Cullen, and Nathaniel Cheney. Shane Passero in between the pipes for the juniors. As for the Eels on D, Landon Ingalls and Maverick Krupe. The three forwards, Jacob Gobu, Matthew Perry, and Lorenzo Marchetta. Toby Bell in net as the Eels starting goaltender. So, sure to be one for the ages tonight. National anthem coming up in moments. We'll step aside until then. Live from the stadium in Fort Myers, this is the 2023 Florida Cup Championship game on the Eels Broadcast Network, powered by Flow Hockey.
Number 10, Matthew Perry. At right wing, number 13, Lorenzo Marchetta. On defense, number 9, Maverick Krupe. Joining him at the blue line, number 2, Landon Ingalls. And starting in goal for your Florida Eels, number 33, Tobias Bell. At this time, we ask you to please stand and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
There it is, your national anthem, and it is time for the championship game, the premier level Florida Cup game between the Florida Eels and the Tampa Bay Juniors, the first meeting of the season between these division rivals, and what an appropriate way to do it. The Eels skate from right to left in the opening 20 minutes of play. They are in the home white, green, and black. For the Tampa Bay Juniors, they skate left to right, donning the road gray and blues. Well, a great storyline hanging to this one. Shane Passero, the Juniors netminder, he has a 1-0 premier record. Made his debut yesterday as an emergency backup against the Palm Beach Typhoon. He entered mid-game, stopped 13 of 14 shots, so let's see how he fares today. In the meantime, we got Lucas Nicholson throwing on the headset downstairs. What is the feeling down there?
Intensity, to say the least. The premier level championship, the puck has dropped, we're underway, and both teams are out for a victory. You asked me during the Elite Championship, who is my prediction for the premier level game? And I have to say, I'm not going to go with the bias here. I think the Tampa Bay Juniors are going to give the Eels a run for their money. However, the Eels have home ice. The Eels have their Eels play. It's a type of hockey that I can't describe.
And look at this, a quick break for Marchetta right off the bat. A half-open net, but wiped out in the process.
the Eels kind of play that I can't describe. And I think that is what is going to give them the upper hand over the juniors if they continue to apply the pressure.
Eels getting the first line change on the way. It's a fresh new 5. Trathan, Shepard, Goddard, DeRay, and Salmon for a face-off on the nearest circle. We're 41 seconds into this game. Face-off in the attacking zone for the Eels. Shepard leaning in, and he wins it back for Trathan. Trathan with a quick shot on the draw, and it's ripped up the far boards out the center. It's the juniors on the counterattack. Ethan Dominy leading the charge down on the corner. Stick lifted away towards the half wall. Now worked up the near dasher. It's pulled up on by Kevin Dion. Couple of quick possession changes off to our right side before the Eels get numbers across the neutral zone. It's a 3-on-2. Far circle. Trathan dips it back, and he's intercepted by Ty Patefield. Patefield joined off to his right by Dominy. Those two not able to get the passing figured out. So it's all alone on the right wing dasher for the Eels, Braden Goddard. Goddard going nice and slow, breaking the pass out to the neutral zone. Trathan uncontested to the far circle, slides it across the post, and a shot fanned on by Cole Ranta. Ranta throws it up the far dasher, shot from the hash marks. That goes rink wide into the corner. Ranta, the first one there, gets cut off by Liam Lynn. Lynn extending his way out in front of the Tampa Bay Juniors benches and is able to hook with Ludwig Johnson. Johnson corrals to the low slot, not able to direct his chance onto the net. And it's the Eels able to clear on out the neutral. Tampa pumps it across. Bell out of his cage. Again, Toby Bell, the Eels starting netminder. His 7th game of the season. He has a starting record of 4-1, a .286 goals against average, and a save percentage of .905. Eels back into attacking ice. DeHaze lobs it right corner for Zitko. Dario Zitko getting cornered up by Augie Ashley. Ashley crossing the Tampa Bay blue line. High pop-up, barely avoids the ceiling here at the stadium. On the near side in front of the penalty box wall. Angus not able to get a tap at it. It's Kevin Rosello moving on in for the juniors. Rattled around the end boards and over to the half wing. Everyone getting the sticks involved. Ocean Angus trying to pick the puck free. He's shoulder to shoulder with Kevin Dion. And there's the dump down off to the right of Shane Passero. Angus, the first one there, point blanker on the way, and it spills wide right of the cage. Now snagged by Dion at the nearest circle. Lasers it to center for Maverick Krupe. Feathered ahead, worked down the far side glass by Holden Beckett. So the Eels making some big moves in enemy ice right now as it's steered on the nearer goal line by Sebastian Potter. Potter trying to dig it out of his skates. And he's doubled up between a pair of juniors. Patefield supplies the pick away. Right circle, turn back over to Landon Ingles. Ingles unable to pull the trigger. And Perry, the new man on, fresh off the bench for the Eels. 16-18 to go in the first. No score between the Eels and juniors. Slow roller in on Toby Bell. He likes to keep the play alive. It's Ingles at the kick plate of the Florida zone. And shucked out between the benches for Jacob Gobu. Gobu side shuffle to Perry. On top of the far circle. And it's ladled on out the center ice. Adamo DeRay provides the rescue. Goddard pitches high. That hit a string just underneath the ceiling. Bounced back down. Officials aren't blowing the whistle. And there's the clearance for an icing against the juniors. What a stretch that was, Lucas.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to make the ting sound off the rafters. But yeah, hit the little line that goes across east to coast there, or east to west. Or to me, I think it's north to south. That's a discussion for another time. 15:44, and we finally get another whistle here. And face-off is going to be blocker side at Passero.
4:16 has gone by in regulation. Shepard to the nearest circle. Snapped up top for Adamo DeRay. DeRay belts it towards the half boards. Tampa Bay with a potential break. Dominy, a 2-on-0. Dominy near circle shot, and that's risen high off of the backboard. Shepard reverses it to the point. Puck hops in between a couple of sticks. Shepard on the counterattack for the Eels, sticking towards that far wall. Shepard behind the cage, accompanied by Trathan. DeRay on top of the zone. Threw it off a skate of a Tampa Bay player. I believe it was Liam Lynn. Now it's Trathan from the tight angle, driving it off of the backhand towards the corner. Far point. Pulled in by Goddard. DeRay with a shot. Blocked away by Pissarro. Using that right-hand blocker to get the job done. Eels regain the zone onside. Big drive. Oh my, what a shot by Trathan. Some smoke behind it. But Pissarro caught every inch of it as it's back over on the left point. Golan across center. Goddard beats him to the punch. Rabine goes wide right with the shot. Collected on the far glass by Johnson. Ludwig Johnson dropping the anchor. Another four-man scramble to the tight angle. Nothing but Eels there. So they get a temporary side of relief, but still are unable to dump the puck out. Third try is to charm to Jacob Gobu at the center red. Gobu and Perry, both outworked by Asher Irwin. Big collision at the point. Couple men hitting the deck, including Matthew Perry. And the Eels are back from square one. Little breakout by Sean Burke in his second game with the Eels Premier team. Held up right point. Lined on with a shot. Pissarro provides the save. And the kick out goes to Kevin Rosello. At the midpoint, Tampa Bay able to nudge it on out to the neutral zone. Perry back across the point on the right wing. Far circle for Gobu. Gobu with a 360. Right point for Phillips. Phillips with a slap shot. That's way off to the right. Phillips reunited with possession. Rims it off the back wall. And up top towards Sean Burke. But it's the juniors trying to go one end to the other. That puck dancing back and forth along the Eels' blue line. The juniors recoil and give it another go. Puck slowed down by Justin DeHaze. Little foot race to it here. Tremendous speed from Augie Ashley, but nothing doing still. Eels have a 2-on-2 from the far half wall. It's Gobu. Gobu looking at a wide open DeRay. Gobu keeping matters into his own hands with a shot from the near circle. A save made, and a rebound goes offline from Dario Zitko. Now over 7 minutes into the first period of a 0-0 game. It's the Florida Cup Championship between the Eels and juniors. Far circle. It's cycled around the cage by Cole Ranta. Ranta fakes it, give and go to DeRay. Ranta, high slot. Shuffles it right circle to Goddard. Braden Goddard underneath the goal line, and the puck squirts loose on out the center. 2-on-1 for the juniors. It's Nathaniel Cheney to the far circle, and we have a stoppage of play.
Yeah, he kicked the Tampa Bay stick away from him. So we have a 2-minute unsportsmanlike call here.
Served by Braden Goddard. So the juniors head to the power play, their first one of the game. Time just flying on by in this opening period. 12:28 to go from the Fort Myers Stadium. The way these teams got here, the Eels with a commanding 5-1 win last night against the Florida Junior Blades, their first meeting against the Southwest Florida rivals of the season. And for the Tampa Bay Juniors, they survived a nail-biting 6-5 overtime decision against the Palm Beach Typhoon. Ran up to the midpoint for Fisher. Fisher dices it left point. Shimmied around the end wall, and the Eels get a 200-footer down for Shane Pissarro. Pissarro paddles up on the far side post. Javin Fisher back to retrieve. Fisher knuckles it up the far glass. Back across for Ashley at neutral. Bondar at center ice. Has his pocket picked to Ashley. Bondar wins it right back to the high slot. Now gets stick lifted, but it's Mark Phillips able to provide some insurance. Adamo DeRay chucks it down the ice from the Eels' blue line. 1:13 to go on the penalty unsportsmanlike called, and it's Braden Goddard in the box. Adamo DeRay from the half boards, able to air it out again to Pissarro. Pissarro coming out of his crease and behind the cage. Asher Irwin surveying his options from the kick plate. Connects with Bonebreak on the near boards. Bonebreak returning to Irwin. Those two playing catch back and forth. 42 seconds ago on the Tampa Bay power play. Now 8:55 gone by in the first period. Both sides looking for their first of the game. Tampa Bay cruising in. That's Irwin. Too quick for his own good, and it leads into a four-man jam. At the left circle. Steered on the backhand. Poke check by Bell, and it is cleared down to the Tampa Bay corner. On the near goal line, Frederick Bonebreak back to retrieve. Bonebreak pitches it off to his left. There it's Tyler Cullen. Cullen making a beeline one end to the other to the tight angle. This is fished to the low slot. Toby Bell able to get the paddle behind it. 3 seconds ago on the Eels penalty kill. They'll clear it one last time, and Goddard's out of the box. 5-on-5 continues as Toby Bell freezes that puck underneath the goal line for Lorenzo Marchetta. Marchetta creeping right corner for Krupe. Krupe, short distance to Landon Ingles. Ingles on the end boards. Rink wide again to Krupe. Krupe swings it out the center. 2-on-1 for the Eels. Perry across. Low slot for Marchetta. A backhander and a save by Shane Passero as it squeaks loose right point for Krupe. Krupe with another one on. And Shane Passero gobbles it up. Now midway through the first period, 9:53 to go. Zeros on the board between the Eels and Juniors.
Yeah, both teams bringing the physicality, bringing the skill, less on the physicality. No score yet. Both teams looking for first blood. Lorenzo Marchetta unhappy that he couldn't get one to go there. Face off. It's going to be to the left of Passero.
So to the far circle. Justin DeHaze leaning in for the Eels against Ludwig Johnson. And the Eels keep the cycle going in the O-zone. Knifed out the center and pushed back across by Sean Burke. Tampa Bay slow and steady in front of the penalty box boards. But DeHaze jumps in front. DeHaze versus back to Mark Phillips. Now at the center line, Justin DeHaze. Steady to the right circle. Wraps it around the end boards. Now a nice little push off there towards the corner from Javin Fisher. Pulled to neutral. That's Cheney. Getting a little tap from the stick of Sean Burke. So these two sides giving the control back and forth to one another. Up and down the ice we go. And it's Maverick Krupe with some open room. Make that Dario Zitko, I beg your pardon. Zitko shoving on to Augie Ashley now after his attempt goes wide right in the net. And it's the Juniors with numbers, but offside is called against Tampa Bay.
8:53 to go here, opening period. And we're seeing kind of the same thing that happened yesterday with the Florida Eels Premier team. They're not playing at their pace. Fast hockey, skating up and down, and you don't want the fatigue to set in early here.
And there's a lot of anticipation towards this game. Not only is it the Florida Cup Championship, but it's also a late game which got started a little around 7:30, if not a little past that. So a lot of nerves, and it leads to a lot of miscues as the puck is drawn left circle for DeRay. There's a shot deflected by a shin pad in front. Kevin Rosello dunks it to neutral. It's Kevin Dion unable to maintain control, floats it down the length of the way onto the pads of Toby Bell. Far corner. Eels marching on out the center. Tape to tape pass to Noah Trathan. Trathan with 3 men to beat. And that puck is rocketed high into the mesh netting.
Yeah, a little misfire there by Trathan. But hey, he's allowed. A talented athlete with the Florida Eels. And I know we've seen him here for a few years now.
On the far wing, Tampa Bay, the victors of the faceoff. Benjamin Lennon-Sari flips on the backhand, near corner. Krupe provides the interception, but he's pinning that puck up against the Tampa Bay bench. And it's finally squeezed free, back for Toby Bell. Bell paddles up to Landon Ingles. Ingles searching down the rink, looking at his men. And he'll take matters into his own hands through neutral. Aimed ahead. Ocean Angus with some trouble moving forward in traffic. Eels regroup. Maverick Krupe dribbles one between the benches. Potter handles, but they're caught offside. Faceoff comes back out to neutral in front of that juniors bench.
Yeah, so both teams getting some fresh legs here. Faceoff going to be in the red dot just outside the Tampa Bay zone.
So it's Potter winding on back for Landon Ingles. Ingles smokes it down the far wing. And it's played back over left circle towards Cheney. Cheney involved in the scramble. Krupe with a fire on from the point, and Shane Passero gobbles that with the left-hand glove.
So 7:23 to go here, opening period. One thing I noticed down here, ice level, the Eels are all on their feet, trying to stay loud, giving a little stick taps, where the juniors guys are, every single one of them is sitting down.
Landon Ingles from the near point, high slot, Marchetta with a shot. That gets deflected in traffic. Nathaniel Cheney off to the races across neutral. Chucks the puck wide left of Krupe. It's Bell behind the net. He has been very active around his crease. Bone break. Can't get anything moving. Bell at it again, near side goal line. And it's tipped out the center for Ashley. Ashley on the near side. Takes the stick from Lorenzo Marchetta. Over the head of Marchetta, the puck goes. Ingles, circle to circle. 6:40 to go in this first period. Scoreless hockey between the Eels and juniors. Their first meeting of the season. Ludwig Johnson from the end wall. Upstairs to Lennon Sari. Lennon Sari wide side. Augie Ashley gets harassed from behind and leads into an Eels 2-on-2 run. Top of the left circle. Pickoff made there. And it's the juniors trying to get their men in formation. Patefield taking a shoulder from DeHaze. Krupe had the puck wobble away off the stick. Benjamin Lennon-Sari, the lone man, on the far boards. Takes a shoulder from Zitko, and he's forced to cough the puck back on over to the Eels deep in their end. Right circle. Zipping ahead is DeHaze. DeHaze onside, puts the give and go for Krupe. Now it's Zitko back over there. That 8 and 9 seems to get the better of me quite a bit, as you can tell. Center of the blue line, a howitzer of a shot coming from Sean Burke. But Zitko, they have a size advantage when you compare those two teammates. So you can notice it rather quickly after the fact as the juniors fly that puck one end to the other, but the hands come out from the linesman. No icing is called. It's the Eels, led by Sean Burke. Burke swings it up the right wall. Phillips going the length of the way. Juniors break on out. Tyler Cullen just gets absolutely taken off his skates by Phillips. Oohs and ahs coming from that Eels bench. Now 15 minutes into the first period. Zeros on the scoreboard. Dion ships it back across the Salmon and at neutral ice. Now reverse to Adamo DeRay. DeRay in front of the Eels bench. Salmon putting the afterburners on. Top of the right circle. Fumbles for Kevin Rosello. Tampa Bay bringing on new men. Eels onside with Braden Goddard leading the charge. Shot gets deflected back up to the point. Trathan to Salmonen. Salmonen in front. That one almost kicked towards the crease by Shepard, but Pissarro's all over that one. Ethan Dominy will shove onto him from Braden Goddard. Puck pinballing all around and eventually lands out the center. Pivoted into the right corner. Adamo DeRay, the first one there. Underneath the goal line for Trathan. Spread outside to Bondar. Bondar knuckles it. Near circle for Shepard as Eels are back in opposing ice. It's Bondar dancing around the corner. Straight up to Krupe. Krupe wide side to Braden Goddard. Goddard back down to the end line once more to Holden Beckett this time. Beckett stopped by Lennon Sari. Krupe can't hold it across the point, and a hand pass is signaled by the referee. .335 to go here, opening period. Still scoreless.
Face off just outside Tampa Bay's zone. Which team will strike first? Will it be in the first period? I guess it's all a matter of time.
Sticked away to Landon Ingalls by his goaltender Bell. Cheney one-handing towards the far half wall. Krupe taking him down from the backside. Shot high off the back glass. Pops out for Holtberg on the point. Rattles it around. Skitters over to Krupe. Over at the high slot. The juniors player comes diving out in front. That's Patefield. And he gets out of that unscathed. But it's descended down the left side by Asher Irwin. And out to the middle again. Holtberg dispossessed by Krupe. 2-on-2. A bit awkwardly placed, however. Krupe backhand feed to go Boo. High slot shot. And that's ricocheted into the protective netting.
Yeah, 2:44 to go here, opening period. And that one ricocheted into the netting.
Perry, Marchetta, and Burke. 3 new men out there on the ice for the Eels. Face off on the near circle. Perry falls short in the face-off as it's worked over to Ludwig Johnson. Johnson, the center. He is approached by multiple Eels. Handled over the tape of Marchetta down the length of the ice. Fisher retrieving. Sends it up but not out to the right point. Phillips firing into traffic. Tampa Bay the other way on the counter. Could be an odd man rush, but Tyler Cullen not nearly enough room to set up shop. Juniors to neutral. Stripped by Gobu. Gobu with a breakaway low slot, and he goes wide to the far post. Well, a hand of the referee comes up, and we've got ourselves a slashing penalty.
And there was immediate discussion here in the scoring box whether it be a penalty shot, but it will not be here.
Fisher into the box for Tampa Bay, and the Eels head to their first power play this Sunday night. 2:02 to go in the first period. Your score, the Eels 0, Junior 0, in the Premier Level Florida Cup Championship matchup. Back to Pissarro's right side. The faceoff comes. Shepard from the sharp angle. Discards to Trathan. Trathan at the near point. Backhand feed to DeRay. DeRay cycles to Salmon in right circle. DeRay and Salmon playing catch. Shot wide left from Salmon over the outstretched twig of Trathan. Downstairs to Shepard behind, and that tried going up front to Zitko. And Tampa Bay airs it out the center and all the way down to Toby Bell with 1:30 to go on the penalty to Javin Fisher of the Juniors. Eels do it all over again. 4 boards for Trathan going blue line to blue line, and he takes a jolt from Dustin Holtberg. Into the right corner, 4-man jam. Zitko settles it aside to Trathan. Trathan over near side point for DeRay. DeRay now splitting the blue line. Trathan with a slap shot. That one taken by Asher Irwin off the leg. Settled to DeRay. Right circle Salmon. Crossed over to Trathan. Trathan, 56 seconds to go in the first period of play. Trathan with some open room, searching for a lane. Wrapped around the back wall. Kicked away by Salmon. And Tampa Bay's got themselves a 2-on-1. And it's led by Nathaniel Cheney. Left circle shot. And Toby Bell captures it right under the face mask.
So 42 seconds to go here. 40 seconds left in the Eels power play, so it'll be pretty much the remaining first period by the time another guy comes out on the ice for the Juniors. Face-off's going to be blocker. Pattern blocker of Bell.
Eels had a face-off in their own zone for the first time in what's felt like a while. Jacob Gobu knifes it around the back wall on top of the right circle. Jam to neutral. It's Augie Ashley with tremendous speed. Stick comes flying out of his hands, and it's Goddard countering to the high slot. Big slap shot by Gobu, and you can hear the ring of the iron. Rebound from the sharp angle. 15 seconds to go in the period. Eels clashing on that far side hash. Saved at the point by Perry. Perry blasting it over the crossbar. 5 seconds to go. Goddard from the goal line looking for Krupe. 1 second to go, and that does it. The buzzer sounds, and after 20 minutes of regulation, what a thriller it already is. 0-0 between the Eels and Juniors in this championship tilt. Lucas, your final remarks before the break.
Yeah, not really much of anything. They have to slow pace. Teams have to play their own game. They're trying to play the pace of how fast the puck's moving, which is not what you need to do. Settle it down in the attacking zone. The Eels started to do that late in the first period. Tampa Bay still lacking setting the pace standard. So we're going to take a short break. We'll be back here for second period.
You heard it from Lucas himself. Second period coming up after this break. Live from the stadium in Fort Myers. You're tuned into the Florida Eels Broadcast Network, powered by Flow Hockey. Welcome back into the Fort Myers Stadium where the puck is down and period number 2 is underway. It's a 0-0 score between the Florida Eels and the Tampa Bay Juniors Premier Team. It is the Florida Cup Championship game. And the Eels raid the offensive zone, skating from left to right across your computer screen. Dragged up into the far circle by Tyler Cullen. Eels strip it loose with a shot from the tight angle. Save made. Right place at the right time for Tyler Cullen. He marks it up to the left point. Held in by Maverick Krupe. Krupe rims it around the end wall and back up the opposing side. Lorenzo Marchetta towards the near circle. Crawling out in front. Passes to Perry on the tight angle. Perry with a shot from the goal side. Will go back behind the net for a 4-man jam. Some loose change for Landon Ingalls. Unable to keep it across, and he wipes out in neutral, leading to a Tampa Bay 2-on-2. Gustav Peterson led the charge, but Tampa Bay is called offside.
What's up, Nick?
We're just hanging in here, casually working our 4th game of the day, our 8th in 2 days.
How you feeling?
Oh, well, I'm fired up. This has been one heck of a game, and I'm sure you could say the same, right?
Yeah, I was dragging coming into this game, but I'm feeling good now. 19 minutes, so only a minute of play here in the second period, and it's going to be an intense battle. You could already see it with the first 20 minutes of play.
So that puck is just jammed over there on the left wing point. Plenty of board battles to go around, much like we saw in the elite level game this morning between these two teams of the Elite Florida Cup Championship game. Eels won that 4-3. So the Eels Premier Team will look for a cup win of their own today and against the same organizational opponent in Tampa Bay. Salmonen with a shot, right point save made, rebound on the right side of the net. That one from Braden Goddard. Skips free to Shepard. Shepard between the circles. Low slot. Shepard still with it. He's got a man diving out in front. That puck is frozen. And eventually it's nudged shy of the near post. 1:50 into the second period of a scoreless game. Goddard, right point, swings wide side to Adamo Dure. Dure angles it towards the half-boards. Trathan one-hands it to Patefield. And Patefield attempts a 2-on-2 for the junior. Stays onside. Through the legs pass. Right circle save made Toby Bell. And it's rescued up on the blue line by Dustin Holtberg. Holtberg to the left corner. Grabine searching for a lane. He's not able to direct his shot on the cage. Back over to Ludwig Johnson. Below the goal line. New men coming on for Tampa Bay. That includes Liam Lynn. Around the back of the net. Surged over on the right corner. Far side circle, Tampa Bay, and the opposing ice shot from the point gets deflected off the kick plate. Adamo Dure there in the nick of time. Sprawls it up the far glass, shy of Shepard, and onto the twig of Dustin Holtberg. Holtberg snaps one to Asher Irwin, rink wide. He crosses again to Jordan Grabine, and Toby Bell bringing the pads together here. Exactly 3 minutes into the second period. Tampa Bay trying to draw first blood on quite the rally right now. Stung up to the far point for Asher Irwin. Zitko jumps right in the way. Dorio Zitko, a massive hit by Asher Irwin. Some oohs and ahs coming from the Tampa Bay bench. Left hand comes up from Toby Bell on the Tampa dump in, but no icing is called. So off the end wall. Kevin Dion wins the scramble, jams it to the low slot. And Kevin Rosello was unable to pull the string. Back towards the near corner. A mad scuffle here. Picked free for Dion. Kicked off the skate for Tyler Cullen. Cullen back down low to Dion. Shot from a tough angle. Elbowed away by Toby Bell. You have a Tampa Bay player shaking up on the tough hit behind the net. That's Kevin Rosello, but he's back up to his feet. Jammed back across the Florida Eels blue line. And the puck floats down that far wing. Will pop up to Phillips. Mark Phillips guides it on out across the center edge. That puck pinballing all the way down into the right circle to Augie Ashley. Ashley picked off by Phillips. Phillips reversing to Sean Burke in between the rings. Second try brings the Eels into enemy ice. Shane Passero paddling up behind his net. A dangerous play with the nearby Justin DeHaze just a couple of feet behind. Nice lot for Landon Ingalls. Eels skating left to right out of their own zone. It's broken out. Finally to Ocean Angus. But it sputters back on him in front of the Tampa Bay bench. Oh, that penalty box door opened up. Beckett almost took a spill, but on we go. And icing is called against the Juniors. 15:08 to go in the second period. It's a scoreless tie from the Fort Myers Stadium.
I failed you, Nick. All day I haven't had any issues. Last 2 days this penalty box door, and someone didn't close it properly, and I didn't go back and check it, and I almost had Holden Beckett coming into my arms. 15:08 to go, second period. Face off glove side of Passero. We have first warning here on the face off.
It's Potter head-to-head against Patefield. Tampa Bay with the face-off win to Augie Ashley behind the net. A howitzer on out the center. Tampa Bay trying for a 3-on-3. Ashley dekes his way past Holden Beckett on the near point. Ashley wins it back. Left circle. Positioned at the half boards now. And Tampa Bay wiggles it loose near the scores table area. Rink wide to Frederick Bonebreak. Bonebreak dispossessed by Lorenzo Marchetta. Potter breaks loose to the right circle. Stick lift from behind provided by Bonebreak. Angus on the backhand towards the end wall of the Tampa Bay zone. Rink wide pass too much behind it, intended to land in Engels. Engels jars it loose towards the near post. A little stalemate along the hash. Near corner for Potter. He wipes out underneath his skates. Cullen jams it to center. And it's Cullen skating over a broken stick. It was shattered in two, and that ruined his momentum. Krupe the other way. Gliding left circle shot. That's off the mark. So both teams seeing quality chances right now. Past 6 minutes into the second period of play. We've got 0-0 hockey between the Eels and Juniors. And trying to change that now is Gobu. Jacob Gobu, low slot shot, they score! Just how you draw it up. Maverick Krupe, forehand, backhand, and the Eels lead 1-0. 13:41 to go in period number 2.
Put that one on your reel, Nick. What a call. You just had a beautiful goal by Maverick Krupe, and they strike first blood.
Well, that is a Frank Scarpacci play right there, I'll tell you that much. Goodness me. And who else but the team captain himself, Maverick Krupe, getting the job done. He's had to play as a defenseman this week, contrary to being a usual forward, but the Eels have needed that defensive help, and that even included him calling up Sean Burke. Let's get the PA announcement.
By number 9, Maverick Krupe. Assisted by number 44, Jacob Gobu.
Gobu, the lone helper on the goal from Krupe. We got big meeting of the minds there in between the benches. Kicked away for Salmonen. Salmonen with the wind and fires straight to the gut of Shane Passero. And the Eels were that close to striking again, but it remains 1-0 exactly 7 minutes into your second.
We're at the 13-minute mark here, Nick. Eels lead 1-0 over the Tampa Bay Juniors. Face-off here going to be pad and blocker, and it's too late past my bedtime. Trying to get the right terminology out.
Eels elite team in attendance, sitting behind that Tampa Bay net. They brought drums out to the game. They got snare drums, bass drums. They are making all the noise they can muster in this one. As it's Zitko crashing the puck down that near side and around the back wall for Benjamin Lenonsari of the Juniors. Lenonsari snaps it out for Rosello at center. Rosello to Lenonsari at the high slot. Almost wipes out. Right side post. Shot rings the iron. Save made. Rebound right into the body of Toby Bell, and he squeezes tight.
Yeah, a great save there by Toby Bell, and you see the size of relief coming from the Eels bench. As for the Juniors' frustration, How can we not get one in? Wide open net.
Toby Bell tapping that far post, thanking his friend as we're back to play with the far circle draw. Krupe rings it to the blue line. Nice movement from Perry across center ice. Cuts his way into the right circle, but Gustav Peterson halts him from behind, and the referee blows the play dead. Wasn't able to see what happened there, if the puck maybe made its way onto the Eels bench. Did you see that?
I missed it down here as well. I bent down to grab my line chart, and the trainer was standing up right there in my viewpoint.
Steven?
Steven, but I'll let it slide, though. He's not very tall, but he's up there on the bench.
Tell Steven to sit down. Come on. It's the championship game. Gobu will drop it on back to Ingles at the high slot. And he looks carefully and patiently, dropping back below the goal line and now surging ahead to neutral. Breaks it on out to Lorenzo Marchetta. Marchetta to the left circle. Drives it on back to the point. Landon Ingles searching for a view, and that puck is trapped under the left arm of Passero. 1-0 Eels lead. Lone goal of the game came from Maverick Krupe. 11:39 to play in your second.
Yeah, oh captain, my captain. Krupe gets the first tally of the game. And we're just a minute out from being halfway through the second period. And we've only had one penalty here so far, too.
Back and forth clean hockey, something that you typically see from an Eels and Juniors game. Puck rolls in on Toby Bell as he puts the oven mitt right over the top.
So not much time taken off the clock, 11:29. Face-off, pattern blocker side.
We've got Tyler Cullen winning the face-off for the Juniors. Irwin on the near point, lowers it into the corner for Dominy. Dominy doubled up between a pair of Eels. Blue line for Irwin. Irwin airs out a shot on the Bell. That pokes back out to the high slot, but we have a hand pass signaled. We mentioned Tyler Cullen, not to be confused with Daniel Cullen, also on the Juniors roster. They both serve as forwards, but you can tell them apart for sure based on the size difference. Tyler, 6'5", 176 pounds. Daniel Cullen, 5'8", 150 pounds. Tyler from Lando Lakes, Florida. Daniel from Bradenton, also in the Sunshine State. Eels with 3 men gaining entry to the zone, and Shane Passero holds on tight.
Yeah, an interesting fact there. 2 guys, same last name but different birthplaces there, but 11:02 on the clock here. Tampa Bay Juniors has to start playing their game if they want to hang in it, because you know the Eels are not going to let off the gas here.
Goddard speeding the puck in down the far dasher. Eventually behind the net to Asher Irwin. Irwin trying to halt Sebastian Potter. Coming in with explosive energy. Goddard on the right point. Shot tipped by Johnson to the backboards. Asher Irwin corralling the puck. Far side hash marks. Juniors out the neutral ice. Johnson, the head man, with 2 Eels to beat. Johnson takes a stick from Braden Goddard. And the Eels on a counterattack. Goddard edging past Grabine into the right circle. Goddard versus Irwin. You hear the collision up here in the broadcast booth. Salmon retrieves for Florida across the center red. Directly forward to Trathan. Trathan shoots with a man in front. And Passero says, not on my watch. He takes the puck to the breadbasket. Now with 10:09 to play in the second period. Eels feverishly working to increase their 1-0 lead.
Yeah, they're looking to put 2 goals on them here with 10:09 to go.
The puck is scooped up off the end boards by Augie Ashley. and ushered across the midline. Shepard down the far wing. Passero behind his net. Paddles up off to his left for Benjamin Lenensari. Lenensari sandwiched between two Eels. Juniors work it out the center, but we have a tripping call on the way against the Eels. It goes delayed for the time being. Bell able to get his paddle in the way, and we have ourselves a power play for Tampa Bay, their second of the game. It's actually going to be hooking, and the guilty party is Noah Trathan. I saw that man go down in front of him. I just assumed it to be tripping, but again, hooking the verdict. And Tampa Bay with another opportunity to get on the scoreboard and tie up this game. 9:39 on the second period clock.
Penalty on number 61.
Little stalemate coming on the hash. Wheeled up to the right point. Crossed over to Ashley. Ashley gains the puck on the forehand after Beckett was able to dispossess him for a quick moment. Now we're underneath the goal line. 20 seconds into the infraction already on Noah Trathan of the Eels. Throttled back over into the near corner. Whipped out the center. Eels get the clearance, but an intense foot race coming from Matej Bondar. Bondar trying to force the turn away behind the Juniors' net. And the Biscuits all alone in front of that Eels bench as Tampa Bay rolls on out across the middle and down the far side by Javin Fisher. Fisher joined by Domini in the scramble. Domini, a top scorer on this Tampa Bay team. He entered tonight with a Juniors' best, 9 goals and 14 points. It's the Juniors recoiling in their own territory. High slot for Javin Fisher. Fisher tips it back to Patefield. Ty Patefield leading the troops on in to the half wall. That's as far as he's able to get. Eels get the 200-footer. Now 37 seconds remain in the box for Florida's Noah Trathan. Getting down to your final 8 minutes of period 2 and a 1-0 Eels edge. It's your premier level Florida Cup championship game for the year 2023. Perry dusting off the puck for Gobu. And Gobu rockets it the length of the way to Passero. Shane Passero out of his crease. Far side and glass. And he makes way for Javin Fisher. Tampa Bay in motion with Lenensari over at the far circle. That's roofed over his head. Across center, Trathan goes back into the game from the box. And Tampa Bay now 0 for 2 on the power play. Knocked down out of the air. That's Lenensari doing the honors. Lenensari got tied up with his teammate Cheney. And offside is called on the Juniors as those two give each other a pat on the back.
Yeah, so 7:24 to go here, second period. Back to full strength. So some more 5-on-5 hockey. And the most recent guy to get out of the box, Noah Trathan, with his back to us here on the ice, playing a part of the 5-man game.
Juniors with an odd man rush. Grabine, right circle shot and a save from Toby Bell, bringing the pads together. Tampa Bay has had their fair share of odd man rushes through the course of the game so far. It seemed like we went a couple of minutes there at least without seeing a really good view in on Toby Bell taking one of those Tampa Bay opportunities, but he continues to be gold up to this point. But the Juniors can change that at any moment. It is how they attack and why they are a 7-2 team and one of the top in the Florida division behind this 8-2 Florida Eels club. Speaking of the Eels, they possess in front of the Tampa Bay bench. But the puck squirts loose and eventually onto that said Juniors bench.
Yeah, it didn't come all the way over here in the penalty box. Thank goodness. They have a little more gear on than what I do.
Throw a helmet on. The officials station this draw to the nearest circle. And it's Sean Burke having to stick over his head by Kevin Rosello. Zitko has the puck lodged in between his skates, and that's another one out of play. Those Tampa Bay bench players are they're in danger.
On high alert.
They are in danger. We'll go to the near side red dot. Tampa Bay looking into opposing ice. Zitko and Rosello told to keep their distance from the outside. And the Eels get going. Motored down the far wall by Sean Burke. Burke wrapped it around. He went down. Fans are wanting a call behind the net, but nothing coming. Now a foot race along the far half wing. Coloranta got stymied there. Eels from their own zone. Snapped out to DeHaze. DeHaze passes shy of Coloranta towards the far goal line. Asher Irwin, nice speed. Puck ladled out across center. 6:10 to play in your second period. Eels on top of the juniors, 1-0. Rosello in front of the penalty box boards. A little open room to Holden Beckett, but the tie-up is made. And the juniors have a 2-on-2 coming into the zone. Rosello shot a high riser into the mesh netting.
Yeah, so 5:54 to go here. Second period. Eels lead 1-0 thanks to Maverick Krupe.
Eels bench electric, and you combine that with the elite team in attendance banging their drums. Where they got those from, no clue. But the Eels with another odd man rush shot, they score! Lorenzo Marchetta, uncontested from the low slot, 2-0 Eels.
Big goal there by the elite all-star, making a name for himself on the premier level, Lorenzo Marchetta.
Goal scored by number 13, Lorenzo Marchetta.
Marchetta remains on the ice after the goal. Jacob Gobu with the assist. Brayden Goddard, one of the helpers as well. Eels have Gobu enter the zone alongside Marchetta with 5:20 to go in that second period. Every goal in the game is crucial, don't get me wrong, but you know, from 1-0, Eels getting that second one really tells you something about the fight that they're putting against a very talented Tampa Bay Juniors team, year in and year out. Wobbled over, right circle for Gobu. Gobu with a slap shot, hits a shin pad in front, midpoint. Big fire on from the blue line. That one from Adamo DeRay, and Shane Passero shuts him down.
4:54 to go, second period. Eels leading 2-0. And you mentioned a good Tampa Bay team year in and year out, but so are the Florida Eels. That's why it is a battle of the skill here tonight. You can't have an off game. You're competing for the Florida Cup.
And to win that Florida Cup, you just have to go 2-0 on the weekend. Eels won yesterday against the Florida Junior Blades, a commanding 5-1 final. And they're trying to do exactly that. Another big-time victory against Tampa Bay as Pizarro covers up. This one has just flown right on by with 4:43 left in the second period. Eels stretch their lead to 2 with the recent goal moments ago from Lorenzo Marchetta. First one from Maverick Krupe. Both tallies right here in the middle stanza. Krupe at the far point, worked down to an E, gives it up behind the cage to Asher Irwin. Irwin clashing against Holden Beckett. Those two shoving back and forth, and they ultimately go their separate ways. Juniors out the center. Nathaniel Cheney motors it, top of the right circle to Daniel Cullen. Cullen forced off, shot wide left. Rebound kicked out as well by Toby Bell. Stick comes loose. Sebastian Potter picks that up. And the juniors will try to re-enter. They do that as it's lobbed down the far wall. Juniors in the midst of a line change. Maverick Krupe trying to find some range across the neutral zone. He goes end to end to the left circle, and Shane Passero slaps that puck away. On the left point, Krupe at it again. High slot drive. Elbowed up in the air by Passero. Ocean Angus spinning at the far corner. Wide side pass, cross back over, and Landon Engels able to hold that puck in. Juniors across their own blue line, courtesy of Jordan Grabine. Grabine as the puck squeaked loose to Noah Trathan. Trathan picked off by Bonebreak. Bonebreak with a point shot. Toby Bell able to deflect it away off to his right side. 3 minutes, 10 seconds on the board in your second period. Your score, Eels 2, Juniors nothing. Trathan on top of the left circle. He lets it fly. Save Passero. Rebound. Trathan at it again from a tough angle. Low slot for Salmon. Salmon budging into traffic. High slot Shepard with a flick of the wrist. Shy to the far post. And Pizarro is all over that one. Another stick broken in two. Plenty of shattered twigs through the course of the game.
The school is college, I just don't have class. 2:53 to go here. Second period, 2-0 Eels lead. And Eels starting to suffocate.
Dario Zitko getting pickpocketed for a moment. Augie Ashley the other way. Toby Bell way out of his crease into the corner. Dumps it up the far wall, and he has to retreat back as far as he can. And he does that. Nothing even close to a threat from the juniors at time, but they reload.
I have it muted most of the time anyway.
On the right circle, Kevin Dion looking around. Goes left point for Lennon Sari with a shot. A little deflection off of the end wall. Back over to Coloranta. Pitches it right point. Rosello with another pop-up. Eels tap it out the neutral. Dario Zitko between the benches. Trying to deke his way past Cullen. Now near circle for Irwin. That's way over Zitko's head. Zitko with three teammates to his left. He punches a shot through, and that is caromed high and out of play. 1:43. Despair in your second period. Eels up 2-0, and right now the Eels look like they can just keep on going.
Yeah, Eels don't look beat at all. If anything, momentum has risen, and now if they're running off of adrenaline on top of the energy that's still in the tank. A lot can shift here if Tampa Bay can get a late goal.
Marchetta plowing into Frederick. Bone break behind the cage. Twisted up the near side and out the center for the juniors. Pedersen. Pedersen stalled up by Braden Goddard. Now wound back for Irwin. Perry moving forth. Sputters in between the skates to center ice. Gobu near side of the middle red. Cuts on the left glass. Far circle. Behind the twine. Pokes it back out in front. Nobody home for the Eels. Nathaniel Cheney throws it for a point. Now 1 minute remaining in the second period. That puck stalled against the wall. Back out to the middle. Gobu across with a shot. And that one bounces off the kick plate. Behind the cage, centered again for Perry. Caught by Beckett at the midpoint with a shot. The other way comes Irwin. But the Eels keep it across. Right now, Tampa Bay just absolutely struggling to dump it out. Over on the half boards. That's Perry getting harassed. He's got two men to defeat. Irwin loosens up that puck and punches it back to the Eels' blue line. Goddard crossing up for Adamo Dire. Dire connecting with Ate Bondor. Bondor with the rim around. On the near circle. Play transitions into the corner for Bondor. Bondor with a backhand shot. Maybe trying to center one up for somebody in front. Right point for Bondor with a shot. Make that Goddard. Rebound from Potter. That's over the bar. And there's your buzzer to finish up your second period. 40 minutes in the books. This game has been electric. 2-0, Florida Eels.
No final thought question?
We've been asking it all weekend. I'm sick of it. Take it away, Lucas.
I know. So, no, Eels are playing their game. I'm starting to see their team come alive. Toby Bell making great stops. So far, a shutout for Toby Bell, though I'm going to knock on wood. I really don't want to have the broadcaster's curse on him. But Tampa Bay just looks beat.
Now, we start your third and final period. This is the Premier Level Championship game of the USPHL Florida Cup. Live from the stadium in Fort Myers, this is the Florida Eels Broadcast Network, powered by Flow Hockey. Time to begin your third period of play from the Fort Myers Stadium, where the Florida Eels Premier Team leads the Tampa Bay Juniors 2-0. Lucas, third period about to start up right now. Your keys to rounding out this game for the Eels.
Yeah, Nick, thanks. Tampa Bay has to control the puck. The Eels, if you don't have a good shot, dump and change. Kill the clock. And we'll see if they can do it here. They're up 2-0. Toby Bell's still working on this shutout. Ooh. And what a phenomenal thing would be if he shuts it out.
A little scramble in the crease, and that's covered by Shane Passero. Now, I'm not a broadcaster jinx type of guy, but I know how some people get over it. So I heard that, and I was like, oh, man. But, hey, like I said, if what I believe stands true, it's not going to matter, right?
No, absolutely not. And, you know, speaking of broadcasting jinx, I've always learned that off of Mike Kelly, the voice of the Florida Everblades ECHL. We both know him well. And he's talked about the broadcasting jinx, and ever since that, it's been in the back of my head. Just making sure I don't say the wrong thing too soon.
Right. Well, I mean, 19:22 to go in this game. The good news is the Eels do have a 2-0 lead. Boo goes down as he collided with Benjamin Lennon-Sori. The Juniors whip the puck on out the center. Boo at the blue line, give and go to Perry. Now the other direction comes Domini. Domini contested by Krupe. Those two ram in front of the Eels bench off to our right side. Daniel Cullen fighting for possession. And it's caromed on back to the Juniors' blue line to Bonebreak. Bonebreak into the right circle. Lines the shot on. Save Toby Bell. And it's picked out of traffic by Ty Patefield. Patefield knocks it down. Near corner to Bonebreak. Frederick Bonebreak upstairs. Marchetta pickpockets his man. And he laces a shot deep in off of the backboards. Javin Fisher straight ahead to Cullen at the center red. Now Domini with some open room. He shoots, and what a save by Toby Bell. Kicking out the right leg and keeping the Juniors off the board as we have icing called against the Eels. 1:45 gone by in the third period, and the Eels keep their 2-0 advantage.
Yeah, 2-0 down here, ice level. The Eels leading over the Juniors. And what a save there from Toby Bell. Or Tobias Bell for all the scouts.
Good throw out there. 2-0. Again, your score. Eels coming on in. Trathan with a backhand shot from the far post. And that's whisked away. Eels goals so far from Maverick Krupe and Lorenzo Marchetta. Krupe at 6:19 of the second period. Marchetta at 14:15 of that middle stanza. Lynn gets dumped down in front of the Tampa Bay bench, and that is a boarding penalty against the Eels. Jared Salmonen taking a seat. Heading into the final period of play, the score sheet reads 21-13, Eels leading in shots on net. Eels had 10 shots in the first period, 11 in the second. For the Juniors, 4 shots in the first period, 9 in the second. Face off to Toby Bell's left. And this power play underway for Tampa Bay, their third overall opportunity on the Sunday night as Lynn feathers it down the near boards and off the end wall for Gustav Peterson. Peterson tries reversing it, but it's Krupe speeding his way out through center, a teammate to each side. Puck squirts loose, and the Juniors are back in business. A potential breakaway for Gustav Peterson. Couldn't get a stick down on the ice in time. Peterson transitioning into the right corner. Hey, you see some of those elite players with the drums, and they got the sticks, and they're actually banging the sticks against the glass. I don't think that's how they're intended to be used.
Anything to cause a distraction.
There's a slapper by Irwin. Wide left, that came from the near post. Now on the left circle. Couple of moments gone by for the Juniors. Stepped in, right circle. Another one floated to low slot. Tyler Cullen was a couple of steps behind, however. 16:45 to go in the game. Juniors trying to get on the board. 53 seconds to go on the power play, and they trail by 2. Lynn on top of the right circle. Almost finessed away by Holden Beckett. Irwin up top of the zone. Shot goes off of Krupe. A big time sacrifice by the team captain, but he's unable to dump it. Irwin, side of the net. Half open cage, and Tampa Bay still couldn't cash in. 25 seconds remain for Jared Salmonen in the penalty box for the Eels. Lynn transitions to the high slot. Hands off to Tyler Cullen. Cullen below the goal line to Krupe. Krupe now bonded up against the boards by Liam Lynn. Lynn and Krupe in a big-time scramble right now. Played right circle. Pedersen with a slap shot. Bell bringing the wickets together. Salmonen is out of the box. And the Eels get out of another one. A scuffle in the crease. And it's dumped one end to the other. What an incredible denial made there by the Eels defensive core. It's peppered on into the Tampa Bay zone, and the juniors rush out the center. Ashley leading the charge. Adamo DeRay intercepts him and makes room for Noah Trathan. Trathan to the left circle, goes rink wide, nobody home in that Eels white, black, and green jersey.
An unbelievable save down there, Toby Bell. And then all the elite guys hype him up.
A loose puck that had trouble written all over it with Trathan not far behind it. So Passero puts the glove hand over the top. 15:08 to go in this game. It's the Premier Level Florida Cup Championship bout, which the Eels lead 2-0 over the Tampa Bay Juniors. And Noah Trathan scored twice and added an assist in last night's 5-1 win over the Florida Junior Blades, which qualified them for this title game. Justin DeHaze taking the draw for the Eels against Ty Patefield. So the puck is down, and it's directed along the near corner towards Ranta. Skips over his head, and it's Dominy through the neutral zone. Puck flutters away to DeHaze. DeHaze alongside Zitko into the O zone for the Eels. DeHaze whips in, far circle. Caught a junior stick on the way down there. DeHaze in between the circles with a shot that hit junior's defender and Javin Fisher. DeHaze roughed up along the half boards. Into the corner comes Zitko. Far point, Braden Goddard. Goddard crosses to DeRay. DeRay has a shot deflected by Ranta, and Shane Passero saw it the whole way through. He makes the save, and the puck lands on out to the neutral ice. Goddard waiting for his new bodies to come out onto the rink. Gives it on up for Passero, and Passero elects to keep this play going. So it's the juniors just trying again and again and again, but the Eels as stubborn as ever, especially back on their own blue line. Braden Goddard maneuvers to the high slot, and that shot is rocketed over the end wall and out of play.
Yeah, so 13:54 to go in regulation. Nick, we've called over 24 periods of hockey here.
I don't know about you, but I'm fired up right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can go for a couple more with a game like this.
So 2-0 Eels lead on the Tampa Bay Juniors.
Ocean Angus has it spit away by Asher Irwin. And it's rattled to the blue line for Holden Beckett. And Holden Beckett's had himself one heck of a weekend. Scored his first goal in an Eels uniform last night. His third season in the USPHL Premier. Having previous stints, more in a moment. High slot shot, and that's a goal. It was a delayed reaction, but Mark Phillips cashes in on the top shelf. Make it 3-0 Eels. Well, now Sebastian Potter leads the celebration back to the bench. So yeah, the initial shot may have came from one man, ended by another. Eels do what they need to do, and our good friend Lucas downstairs will give us the call in moments. The goal comes 6:38 into the third period. It's Go Boo putting the afterburners on once more. A very relentless Eels team. Here's the call. Sebastian Potter getting himself the goal.
Top of the goal, 13,
No assists.
Of the third period. Potter's first Eels goal scored at 13:22 of the third period.
So there it is, Potter's first Eels goal. We have another little milestone for these Eels. We talked about holding back it a couple of moments ago. Shane Passero getting roughed up in the fray, but he lands on top of the puck. It took a couple of moments for things to really subside. And let's take a look here. That's a junior's penalty. It goes against Benjamin Lennon-Sari. He was skating back on the near side all to himself, but now Lennon-Sari skates to the Tampa Bay bench. He was wanting that door to be open to the penalty box. It did get open, and then Lennon-Sari turned around at the last moment, throwing his hands up in confusion. Nothing has been relayed to the scorer's table in terms of infractions, and right now the Eels players on the ice signaling back to the bench 5-on-5.
Everyone's in shock down here. Eels bench, scorer's table, and we even had the Tampa Bay junior guy come into the penalty box like he got a penalty, but nothing was called after the Eels player gets cross-checked in the back of the head. No call. We're going to skate just as you said, 5-on-5 hockey.
Low slot backhander by Go Boo, and that squibs free off to the left of the net. Marchetta again searching for a second of the night. Right point, Landon Engels drifts it across for Krupe. Krupe with a wind and fire save made. Rebound by Marchetta, and the juniors ride on out to the neutral zone. Pass goes errant to Jordan Grabine. Eels from their own point. It's Maverick Krupe streaking down the middle, curling to the left circle. Krupe denies a hit. Had a man coming in at the last moment, but able to use a jump to his advantage. And it's Gustav Peterson along the high slot. That one takes another funny bounce. Juniors left circle shot. And that time Nathaniel Cheney got shut down. Right point for Holtberg. Holtberg swerves across. Holtberg zeroed in on Go Boo, who jumps onto the Eels bench. Shot on from Irwin all the way out at center ice. 11:40 to go in the game. 3-0 Eels lead from three different scores. And again, it started with Maverick Krupe before Lorenzo Marchetta added the second, and an ultimate third from Sebastian Potter, his first in an Eels uniform. So it's the juniors shifting through center. Golan knocks it down the right wall, and behind the twine for Landon Engels. Salmonen, the front man for Florida. That butts back on him. Salmonen wins it right back towards the 4-point for Shepard. Shepard trails to Salmonen. And it's the juniors once more to the neutral ice. Shepard intercepts at the center red. Connects with Trathan with a right circle shot and a glove save from Shane Passero. You hear the drums kicking in from the elite team again down there, bringing this place to life. Maybe something the Premier team really needed. Get this place rocking on a Sunday night, as it's the juniors going circle to circle in their own ice, stretch back on out. Out the slapper. That one coming from Javin Fisher before he gets taken down, and he's shaken up. Cover from Toby Bell, and the trainer will have to come out and check on Fisher, who is able to make his way back up to his feet. 9:31 gone by in this third period. Your score, the Florida Eels 3 and the Tampa Bay Juniors 0. I beg your pardon, it was Kevin Rosello, 81, not Fisher, who's 91. Gray jerseys, white numbers. Who would have thought those would have been complicated? But nonetheless, Rosello getting checked up on. Face off near circle. And reversed on out the center for Ashley. DeHaze went down over his own man, Cole Ranta. Some friendly fire there. Ranta moves on. Phillips under the goal line on the near wing. Justin Hayes throwing around the body. Getting that right shoulder in there. Now the Eels elite team banging their hands against the glass. Worked up to the high slot. And the referee comes up, and we've got ourselves a penalty. And it is a slash. Eels infraction. Justin DeHaze taking a seat for 2 minutes. And the juniors have had a number of power play opportunities. They get another one right here. Still nothing too large for the Eels penalty kill unit up to this point, and Toby Bell. Couple chops at it before the puck lands at the feet of Irwin. Irwin dusting it off. Ty Patefield returns to sender. Irwin winds it up out at the neutral zone for Patefield. Patefield, wide side, Augie Ashley. Ashley steps in, left circle. Pop up at the point. Now Holden Beckett lowering the boom. Almost took a redemption hit from Nathaniel Cheney, but look out. Some great awareness from Beckett to avoid that one. We've got another penalty on the way. This time it's a slash against the juniors. Nathaniel Cheney doing the crime. That brings us to 4-on-4 for the next minute, 27 seconds. So juniors just shooting themselves in the foot that time around. Clock frozen, 9:22 to go in the game. 3-0 Eels up over the juniors. First of 7 times this season that these teams square off.
2 minutes for slashing. Top of that will be 9:22 of the third period. Cheney, 2 minutes slashing.
It's Ashley crossing the blue line on the near boards. Right circle, Dominy. Dominy chokes up possession to Landon Ingalls. Now it's Braden Goddard. Lasered up high. Go Boo. Hacking at it against Ashley. Juniors 2-on-2. Ashley bumped off. Good stuff from Adamo Diarra. Switching back to the defensive side. Toby Bell flashing the leather. Now with 45 seconds to go, a 4-on-4.
So 4-on-4 for the next 45 seconds. Just as you said, 8:40 remaining in regulation. The Eels lead 3-zip. Looking to shut the juniors out.
Maverick Krupe trying to throw off Tyler Cullen from the backside. Eels do the kick plate for Landon Ingalls. Ingalls, short distance to Maverick Krupe on the near half wall. High slot shot. That's over the top corner from Tyler Cullen. Cullen had a wide view of Toby Bell that time, but unable to capitalize. Krupe crossing to Salmon at the neutral zone. Salmon trying to go wide side again, accompanied by Landon Ingalls up top. Ingalls off to his right for Salmon. Salmon Deeks far circle. Salmon shot, and that's into the mesh netting. And guess what? We've got a penalty. This time, hooking is signaled. It's another one against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm going to lose my seat here.
Yep, stand on up. Those guys need every chance to sit they can get. Anyway, Asher Irwin, the next visitor to the sin bin for the juniors. After the next 7 seconds, the Eels will have 5-on-3 for the first time of the game, and it's Goddard starting things up. Goddard crossing to Go Boo. Go Boo with a big-time rifle of a shot. That's off the end wall and out the center. It's Lynn scrambling against Perry.
Timeout penalty 8:02.
And 5-on-3 is underway. Perry, two teammates to his left. Perry corrals away to Goddard. Goddard high slot, shifting right circle, and a glove save courtesy of Shane Passero. The minutes continuing to tick down in this game. Eels leading 3-0, 7:34 on the board in period 3.
Eels are on a 5-on-3 power play for 12
You hear
seconds.
General Manager
Is that Frank Scarpacci?
Oh, yeah.
He's hopping on the PA?
Getting it on the PA. So 5-on-3 hockey for the next 10 seconds here.
Goddard. Wide side shot, they score! Jacob Gobu with a 5-on-3 strike, and the lead balloons to 4 for the Eels. And you know, it's funny coming from us, but I think the Eels proved us wrong, you know what I mean? We knew there was a chance they'd be able to outlast the juniors, but I think you and I, Lucas, we both knew, or we both thought that this was going to be a much closer game. Lucas is switching over to PA again.
Scored by number 44, Jacob Gobu. Assisted by number 7, Brady Goddard, and number 37, Justin DeHaze. Taco goal 7:27 in regulation.
So you hear the call from the man himself.
7:27 and then number 3.
Gobu from Goddard and DeHaze. You'll still on the power play, up a man for the next 58 seconds. Adamo DeRay at the blue line. Chopping it left circle for Trathan. Trathan blasting a shot to the midsection of Passero for the save. Two goals in the second period, 2 in the third for the Eels. A well-balanced attack after a stalemate of a first period. And, you know, the Eels had the edge in the first period. Seemed like they were in the attacking zone more than the other direction. But at the same time, Shane Passero had himself a great opening 20 minutes. Trathan trying to go circle.